Form 7 Physics, Unit 4, Lesson 7C, Particle Reactions. In this video, we are going to focus about 3 points, that is situations where the relativistic increase in particle lifetime is significant, and understand how to use the laws of conservation of charge, baryon number and lepton number to determine whether a particle interaction is possible or not, and also able to write and interpret particle equations given the relevant particle symbols. And with that, we are going to deduce the particle composition in the reactions. First, we look into relativistic increase in particle lifetimes. Now when this happens when particles travels at speeds that close to the speed of light, that is where the relativistic effect comes, some of the properties to change. That is what we have learned as relativistic effect. So what is the relativistic effect that we have learned earlier is when a particle traveling close to the speed of light, it increase its mass because the energy convert to mass. Here, another aspect we are going to look into. One of the properties that we observe when the when the particle moves with the relativistic speed is that length of their light, increase in length of their lifetimes, which observed by the observer, stationary observer, right? So this is due to, is known as a fact called time dilation, which occurs as a result of the special relativity. The time dilation causes time to run at different speeds depending on the motion of a observer, right? This is based on the Einstein's relativity, the theory of relativity. So he one day a person has asked from him, he has gone to Einstein and asked, tell me very simple way the theory of relativity. Then he has explained in this way. He has told, now if you expose your finger to a flame for an instant, you feel it like a long time. And if you have exposed to an enjoyable moment, or if you enjoy a very long time which you like, and that after the incident you will realize, you will felt like it is a very short time. Now earlier exposed to flame, the finger, very small instant, felt like a very long period, and you spend a long period for enjoyment, and after that you felt like it's a very short time. That's the idea of relativity. So with this consequence of time dilation, the lifetime of a particle moving at relativistic speed, that is not normal speed, relativistic speeds, recorded by a stationary observer would be longer. What is recorded would be longer than the actual time, right? Now this cartoon is showing that. Now here the spaceship is traveling at the speed of light, and there's a person inside, and he has gone with the speed of close to the speed of light and return, and it takes only very short time. But at the time of return, the person on earth have grown very old, as it is a big time for the person at the earth. So this is one example for this one example for the relativistic increase in particle lifetimes is the muon decay. Now muon decay in space, right, it takes very quickly, which is formed in the atmosphere, and the lifetime of around very short, that is something like 2 microseconds, which suggests that they have no chance to fall to the earth, right? No chance of falling earth because it's very short time. But actually The on sea surfaces, right? The sea surfaces, they have found, there were evidence showing that muons on the surface, sea level. So how can this happen? Now say it's take only micro 2 seconds, 2 seconds, micro 2 seconds, right? So that is pass for the external observer. So how can explain this by the idea of time dilation? As the muons are traveling at close to the speed of light. As they travel close to the speed of light, the external observer is reducing that it has a longer travel period. So this idea of time dilation also occurs in the accelerator, that is particle accelerator collisions experiment. As particles are moving at speed close to the speed of light, that their lifetime observed by the stationary observer are longer. So there are much chances to travel for longer than expected, and there is a chance to take place a lot of interactions with more particles. That is how it work. Then let's think about the possibility of particle interactions. The possibility of particle interactions concern, we need to concern that some of the conservations that should be conserved, right? Now one thing is charge should be conserved, mass energy conserved. Not only mass, not only energy, it is, you have to talk about mass energy, because we know that from the Einstein equation, either it represents as mass or energy, energy or mass. This conversion is there between mass and energy. So mass energy conversion should be conserved. Then momentum should be conserved. Then there's another fact called baryon number. We will look into what is baryon number, and lepton number should be conserved, and the straightness must conserve. All these must conserve for a particle interaction to predict whether it is possible or not, right? So first we'll take the baryon number. Baryon number, symbol B. Now for the each quark, we are giving the baryon number as +1/3. Each antiquark, that is the antiparticle of the quark, each antiquark is given a baryon number -1/3. Every other particles, such as leptons and everything, neutrinos that come under leptons, their baryon number considered as 0. So let's take proton. Now you know that proton is the composition, the quark composition is UUD. So each quark gives the +1/3. So +1/3 three times get +1. Then baryon number of neutron, UDD. So it also have a baryon number of +1. Now if you take the baryon number of K meson, the composition is U and S bar. So U is a baryon, it has a baryon number of +1/3, and my anti-strange quark is having the baryon number of -1/3. So this get together, it will get baryon number 0. So you can have an idea for a meson. Now every meson will have a baryon number of 0. Why? Every meson is consist of quark and antiquark. So quark, it has +1/3, then antiquark has a -1/3. So these two get together to become 0. Next, we will consider the lepton number. Lepton number, the symbol is L. Each lepton has a lepton number +1. Earlier baryon number is +1/3. Here the lepton number +1. Antilepton has -1. Every other particles have a lepton number of 0. So lepton number of electron is +1. lepton number of positron is -1, as it is an antilepton, antiparticle of the lepton, right? Lepton electron. Then lepton number of electron neutrino will be also +1. Now don't confuse with the charge. Now electron neutrino has the charge of 0, but it has the lepton number +1. Strangeness. Other properties, the strangeness. Each strange quark has a strangeness of -1. Now earlier for the particular particle it is plus. Now here baryon number +1/3, lepton number +1, but here it's a difference in your remembering that strange quark has the strangeness of -1. Anti-strange quark has the strangeness of +1. All other particles have the strangeness of 0. So here, when it has the anti-strange quark, so it is strangeness of this is +1, because here the anti-strange quark, right? This gives the strangeness of, because it has a strange quark, this anti-strange quark. Therefore, it is +1. Then take these examples, right? One is alpha decay. Look at this. Now here the charge, here it has 92 mass number, because mass number represents the number of protons. It has the charge of +92 here, and here +90, protons 90, and here +2. So when we concern the charge 92 on left side and 92 on right side, 90 + 2, 92, then charge is conserved. When we think of baryon number, we know that proton has a baryon number of +1. Why? It consists of 3 quarks. One quark has the baryon number of 1/3. 1/3 3 times get +1. So here baryon number, you can say directly. The protons also have a baryon number. It also consists of 3 quarks, so its baryon number also +1. So we can consider the mass number as the baryon number. Here also the same, here also the same. So when we consider the baryon number left and right total is same, so it is conserved. Now no leptons in this, so lepton number left and right is 0, so that also conserved. Now beta minus decay also you can go through by considering in that manner. So you can see that how the baryon number and lepton number conserve. Now here is a different thing. Here electron neutrino, anti-electron neutrino, right? Anti-electron neutrino has the lepton number -1. Its charge is 0, but the lepton number is -1. Like that, you have to have an idea and focus. Don't confuse with the charge and baryon number and lepton number and strangeness. You have to be very specific, very concerned what you are considering is. On what you consider, please focus and then decide. So this example also you can go through. Now these two tables given below are to give idea about lepton number and baryon number for the particle and antiparticle. A lot of examples, known examples are there, but what we have to familiar is these names and their symbols. You have to little bit familiarize, right? Particle and antiparticle, right? Muon, antimuon, muon, neutrino, antimuon, neutrino, like that. Tau, anti-tau, like that. How the lepton number, baryon number changes, right? Now for leptons, you can see that baryon number all 0, right? Now, okay. Now here you can see that for all the quarks composite particles, their lepton number is 0 because no leptons there, right? Like that. You have to be very concerned and concentrate the particle names and with the lepton number or baryon number or charge without any confusion. You must be able to gather the information. Now let's take this problem. Problem 1. The following strong interactions has been observed. This equation was given. Then the K1 minus is a strange meson. Very important information. Strange meson. Strange meson means it has a strange quark, right? Composition it's given, right? So this gives an indication. Strange quark means that it has a strange quark in its composition. So U quark has the charge and D quark has the charge. They are given normally. Then deduce the charge of the strange quark and some other questions, and finally state the quark composition of X. Justify your answer. Now I would like to work this out as an example for you to decide how we can deduce this final stage. So when we come to the final stage, on the other stages we get the answers for the above questions. Now I am writing this, write down this, and then just think. K minus is a strange meson, its composition is given, US bar, right? And charge of K minus is -1. This is a proton, you must know it, it will not given, right? And +1. And neutron charge is 0, we don't know about this. Now when look at this left and right charge, as the charge need to conserve, right, has been observed, means it has happened. So you can assume that charge has conserved, right? So left -1 +1, right 0, then this must also be 0, otherwise these two together, +1 and -1 together is 0. So left and right should be 0. So this also X, the charge on X must be 0, right? And when we consider the composition, quark composition, it is given as U bar S, right? This bar is for antiparticle, and proton we must remember UUD, and for neutron it is UDD, you must remember, right? UDD, and these two as proton and neutron are very essential, very important. You must remember the quark composition by memory, right? Now the left side quark composition and right side quark composition should be the same final. So let's take this. Now U bar cancel out with 1 U. So then what is remaining here? SUD. SUD is remaining on left side. So right side also, what must remain? What must remain? You must remember that it should be SUD. That also SUD. So here, then there is DDU. So there can be only one D. So there must be a D bar here to cancel out one D. Right? D bar should be here, cancel out one D, and then DU, then other particles should be strange quark. Then it must be SD bar. SD bar, right? So then all the answers we get, right? All the answers we get. State the quark composition of X, then it is SD bar, right? This is to conserve charge, we get this, right? We get this. So then by looking at the composition, now you can double check with the charge here. Now here SD bar, right? We have obtained that charge of X should be 0. Now SD bar, right? Okay, SD bar. So here you can now if you take the charge of these quarks, you can get that, right? Charge of quarks, you can deduce this particle charge, but it's not necessary. It is we can obtain, right? We can obtain that, right? We can obtain that. Okay, so state the quark composition. So that is SD bar, and X is baryon no meson. It's a meson because it's quark and antiquark, right? Use the appropriate conservation law to decide whether X particle is a positive, negative or neutral. To conserve charge, it must be a neutral particle. It must be a neutral particle, right? Okay. Let's move to the next problem. Problem 2. The omega minus is a particle with strangeness minus 3. Now we know that when we consider the strangeness for quark, strange quark is minus 1. So as the omega minus have the strangeness of minus 3, it must have the 3 strange quarks. 3 strange quarks, right? Was identified in 1964, an experiment involving an interaction between K minus meson of strangeness minus 1, that is also given, and the equation is given, right? So let's work out something like previous, right? So first write the equation. In the exam also you can write like that, and below first write the charge. Now here the K minus is, as it's observed, can be observed, is minus 1, proton plus 1, omega minus minus 1, K plus plus 1, and 0. So we can see that the left and right charge is conserved. Minus 1 plus 1 0, minus 1 plus 1 0, minus 1 plus 1 0, and this is 0, right? So charge is conserved, no problem in that. Then quark composition. Now K meson is given with the strangeness of minus 1. So minus 1 means it should have the one strange quark with the strangeness of minus 1. Then to make it minus charge, right? To make it minus charge, you can check that now S, if you take the charge here, S strange quark has the charge minus 1 over 3. So U has the plus 2 over 3, but as it is anti U bar, so it is negative. So U bar is negative 2 over 3. With negative 1 over 3 get minus 1. Like that you can check it with the charge, whether it is match with the composition, right? Match with the composition. Now then when it comes these two, right? When it comes these two, other information is the omega minus particle a baryon or a meson. Give 2 reasons for an answer. Now omega particle to have a strangeness of minus 3, it should have 3 strange quarks. Otherwise it won't have such strangeness. So omega minus is having 3 strange quarks. So one has the strangeness of minus 1, then minus 3, right? Then what is the other thing that we can get, right? Then it has the strangeness plus the minus 3 can only be get for 3 particles of quarks. Right? Otherwise, if it is particle and antiparticle, there can't be 3, because one strange quark get minus 1, then anti-strange get plus 1, so it is not possible. So with that idea you can give the firm answer there, right? Then we need to have the quark composition of K plus and K0, right? So what we should do next? So we'll get the total quark combination on left side, right? Left side, one U bar cancel out with U, then what is the quark composition is SUD on left side, and right side it also should be SUD. Now here 1s, right? Then there should be final 1s here. So either of one of these should be S bar, because only 1s is remaining. So here each 1s should remain, but other 2s should be cancelled out with the S bars, right? Okay. Then U should be there and D should be there, right? So 2 S bars cancel with 2, then 1 S is remaining. So how to decide whether it is U here or U there, right? So then you have to go for the charge detection. Now here you, if you take d, the charge is minus 1 over 3. D, the charge is minus 1 over 3. If you take S, that also minus 1 over 3. So what should be the total charge then? If, right? So it must be 0. So it must be cancelled out. So it must be S bar. S bar is plus 1 over 3. Plus 1 over 3 with minus 1 over 3 becomes 0. So you can decide like that. And confirm your composition with the information provided. So I have added 2 problems to work out as homework. Please work out those 2, and that brings the end of you can observe these video links, use the video links to observe the 2 videos and enjoy, and that will end this video session. Thank you very much for your patience and your attention.